Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let us praise to the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessing, we are able to record this Zoom meeting, and all of you can watch us presenting our project, even we are not in the same time now. And secondly, may peace be upon the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness era to the brightness era. And I would like to say thank you to Ms. Dina for giving me, Azzahra Muharmah, and my friend Bima Setyantara an opportunity to present our material and all of our friends who are willingly watching our presentation. So without any further ado, I will go straight to the material. So in this explanation, we are going to use 5W plus 1H. We're going to explain about contemporary literature with 5W plus 1H forms. Okay. And to make everyone understand and make summary easily, we decided to make 5W plus 1H forms. And okay, so in 5W plus 1H forms, we are going to talk about what, when, where, why, who, and how. And now we are going to explain about what. Okay, first, what is the definition? So, what is contemporary literature? So, the word contemporary means living, belonging to, or occurring in the present. So when we talk about contemporary literature, we are talking about literature that is being written in the now and about the now. So, jadi kalau misalkan contemporary literature ini, dia adalah literatur yang ada, yang hidup, yang ada, dan muncul di kehidupan yang sekarang gitu. Jadi kalau misalkan kita membicarakan tentang literatur ini, literatur ini, kita itu kayak membahas mengenai cerita yang dibuat sekarang, terus itu juga tentang sekarang, seperti itu. And we can also describe contemporary literature as a vast group of written works produced from a specific time in history through the current age. Jadi kita juga bisa nih mengartikan contemporary literature ini sebagai kayak buku atau sebuah literatur yang dibuat gitu kan, yang dibuat di dalam waktu tertentu, pokoknya di zaman dulu, hingga masanya dari zaman dulu hingga sampai sekarang gitu. Jadi masanya masih berlanjut hingga sekarang. And then we are going to explain about the second what. It's about characteristics. So the second what is, what are the characteristics of contemporary literature? So the characteristics of contemporary literature itu yang pertama adalah reality-based stories with strong characters and a believable story. Jadi maksudnya, salah satu karakteristik contemporary literature ini, dia itu berdasarkan kehidupan nyata. Tapi bukan berdasarkan fakta ya, berdasarkan kehidupan nyata. Jadi kalau misalkan seorang penulis melihat kejadian nyata yang ada, terus dibuatkanlah sebuah cerita dengan karakter yang kuat dan story-nya itu bisa dipercaya gitu. Maksudnya itu kayak bisa dipercaya pokoknya gitu lah. Kemudian yang kedua adalah well-defined, realistic, highly developed characters in realistics, and sometimes harsh environment. Jadi dia itu benar-benar dijelaskan banget, terus itu kelihatan realistik gitu, terlihat nyata, kayak kelihatan nyata. Terus itu kayak perkembangan karakternya itu juga terlihat nyata. Terus tuh kadang kayak lingkungannya itu kayak sulit gitu, kayak kejam gitu. Kemudian yang ketiga, the third one is the literature are ironic and reflects current political, social, and personal issues. Jadi literatur ini tuh biasanya ironik gitu, berironi gitu. Terus tuh dia itu menggambarkan sesuatu yang sifatnya politikal, terus itu yang sifatnya itu di kehidupan sosial kita. Kemudian ada juga yang sifatnya kayak masalah pribadi seseorang. And then the next one is facts are questioned. So, as historical perspectives often presents contradictory arguments. Jadi itu kayak kenyataan-kenyataan di dalam no. Jadi kayak apa ya namanya? Fakta di dalam ceritanya itu kayak membingungkan gitu aja, kayak dipertanyakan karena kan perspektif di zaman dulu sama sekarang itu kan dan ceritanya itu kayak kurang berkesinambungan gitu dalam ceritanya seperti itu. And then kemudian we are going to explain about genres. So for the third one, what are the genres of contemporary literature? So the genres of contemporary literature, first one is classic fiction genre. Classic fiction genre, this genre is made up of stories, novels, plays, poems, and films. Everything is imaginary and invented, but it is presented as a mirror that reflects life and human experience in a concrete or abstract way. So for example, I have read this novel titled The Fault in Our Stars. So this novel talks about how two teenagers, which is August and Hazel, try to survive from cancer and fell in love to each other. And like that. Jadi kalau classic fiction genre itu kayak benar-benar genre yang dibuat, story-nya itu benar-benar dibuat, pokoknya terserah dari si penulisnya gitu. Yang biasanya dibuat jadi novel, dibuat jadi puisi, dibuat jadi film, seperti itu. Jadi semuanya itu berdasarkan imajinasi. Contohnya tadi kayak The Fault in Our Stars, kayak gitu, yang menceritakan tentang dua remaja yang kena kanker dan ingin survive berdua. Okay, for the second genres is literature of ghost writers. So a surprising number of successful books are written by ghost writers, but there are also ghost novels. By definitions, these authors have no names and only their peers and the publishers would depend on them know them. So to any reader like us who's basically just a normal person, can't even tell who's the writer of the novel or the book. Jadi kalau ada juga genre dari contemporary literature ini adalah ghost writers, yang maksudnya adalah penulisnya itu kita nggak tahu siapa namanya gitu. So jadi cuman orang-orang terdekatnya dia aja atau seorang publishernya aja yang mungkin tahu siapa penulisnya. Jadi orang-orang normal seperti kita itu tidak bisa tahu ya. And then for the third one is graphic novels. So the graphic novel is usually interpreted as a cartoon with a long narrative for a mature audience and published in a hardcover or rustic and sold in bookstores with serious literary themes and sophisticated works of art. So you can say it that graphic novel is more like a comic. Jadi kayak graphic novel itu bentuk novel yang digambarkan gitu, kayak modelnya dikartunisasikan. Jadi modelnya kita bisa bilang kayak komik gitu. And then for the next one is literature for children. So literature for children, it means that this book is written and produced for the information or entertainment of children and young adults. The last 20 years, we have seen a flowering of writing for children. Among the top representatives of this literature are C.S. Lewis with the book of Chronicles of Narnia and J.K. Rowling with the book of Harry Potter. So, have any one of you watched the movies or read the books from these two authors? Okay, no one can answer me right now, of course, but I'm sure some of you might have read it. Jadi kalau untuk literature for children ini, dia model literasi yang ditujukan itu untuk dibaca pada anak-anak gitu ya. Contohnya itu kayak The Chronicles of Narnia yang dibuat oleh C.S. Lewis sama Harry Potter yang paling terkenal dengan yang dibuat oleh J.K. Rowling. And then for the next one is science fiction. Okay, so science fiction is a very popular branch in the contemporary literature. This is intertwined with the technological progress of the world. However, literary works of science fiction do not necessarily imply a solid scientific basis. A writer can create a science fiction literary work to express an alternative point of view or concept. Jadi, so it's not always based on literal science in real life. Nah, jadi kalau science fiction ini dia modelnya dia menggambarkan kayak menceritakan tentang teknologi, tentang sains, kemudian kayak bentuknya itu tidak bisa kita bilang berdasarkan fakta di dalam kehidupan nyata kita. Jadi modelnya itu science fiction, ya fiksi sains gitu. Jadi dibuat-buat kayak contohnya di novel Divergence, every trilogy of Divergence, and then the Hunger Games, they add a little bit of a little bit of bumbu-bumbu teknologi yang sangat modern yang benar-benar kita nggak tahu kenapa bisa kayak gitu, and it's about science. Okay, for the next one is Black literature. Blacks, an online magazine of individual or joint authorship, have become a new means to create literary works. There are even cases in which these creations have become books. So for example, we've already known is Wattpad, right? And some blogspot we find on Google that talks about some story made by someone, etc. Jadi kalau Black literature itu ya kayak modelnya itu kayak yang kita lihat di Wattpad, kemudian kayak misalkan kita ngeliat di blogspot di Google, terus kita ketemu cerita-cerita yang dibuat gitu oleh autornya gitu kan. And that's the explanation for what. Now we begin to talk about when. So, first when is when did contemporary literature begin? Contemporary literature is defined as literature written after World War II through the current day. Okay. While this is a vague definition, there is not a clear-cut explanation of this concept, only interpretation by scholars and academics. And I want to add a little bit of for this. So there is also some disagreement. Most agree that contemporary literature writing began in 1940s, and this is where the era pairing with postmodern literature comes in. But remember, the difference between them is the postmodern era began after World War II in the 1940s, but last through the 1960s. While the contemporary period extends to the current day. Jadi kalau contemporary literature itu dia dimulainya dari setelah World War II sampai sekarang. Kemudian ada juga nih yang ada yang tidak setuju dan memberikan pendapat bahwa contemporary literature itu dimulai bersamaan dengan postmodern literature, which is from 1940s, 1940-an. Tapi perbedaannya kalau postmodern literature itu cuma bisa berlangsungnya sampai 1960-an, sedangkan contemporary literature itu masih berjalan hingga sekarang. And then the next explanation is going to be where. So where does contemporary literature comes from? Many of contemporary literature comes from Western authors. However, the term is not exclusive to European or American literatures. But in fact, globalization has allowed us to appreciate contemporary works written by many literary figures in the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. In addition to novels and poetry, this literary style covers a wide variety of genres, such as traditional fiction and other forms adapted to the new reality, such as graphic novel or block literature. Jadi contemporary literature itu dia rekamnya itu kayak berasal dari Western, tapi karena globalization itu sekarang kita bisa menikmati, terus kita juga bisa membagikan gitu yang orang-orang yang dari author yang dari Middle East, Afrika, dan Asia untuk menyampaikan imajinasinya kepada seluruh dunia seperti itu. And then the next explanation is why. Why is contemporary literature important? So, literature gives readers the knowledge of history and different cultures, and it makes them liberate towards everything such as love, war, justice, etc. Contemporary literature also has a very important role because it reflects the society's social as well as political point of views. Jadi dari literatur contemporary literature ini dia kita tuh jadi bisa tahu dengan mempelajari kita contemporary literature, dengan kita membaca contemporary literature kita bisa tahu history di zaman dahulu mungkin tentang sejarah zaman dahulu, terus perbedaan kebudayaan, terus kita tuh kayak semakin tahu tentang love, war, and justice, keadilan dan lain-lain sebagainya. Kemudian contemporary literature itu juga memiliki peran penting dalam menggambarkan kehidupan sosial yang ada gitu, sama seperti kehidupan politik. Jadi kita bisa tahu kehidupan yang lagi kehidupan politik dan kehidupan sosial yang lagi ramai di sekitar kita. Seperti itu. And then, okay. For the next explanation, I'm going to give it to Bima to explain it to you all. So to Bima, time is yours.
Okay, next I will continue the explanation from Azzahra about who are the representative authors of English contemporary literature. First is Zadie Smith. She was only 24 when she made a huge splash in literary world with her debut novel White Teeth, an ambitious and thoughtful novel about race and the immigrant experience in post-colonial Britain. Next. Next is Alice Smith, a brilliantly playful and sharply original writer. Alice Smith, fast-moving and genre-bending novels have, for over 2 decades, been one of Scotland's premier literary exports. Next is Geoff Dyer, one of Britain's most widely original and funny voice. Geoff Dyer's idiosyncratic meditation on love and art, life and death, and never cease to surprise, engage, and delight. Next, I will explain about how does technology change the contemporary literature. Technology enable one-to-one correspondence between an author and a reader. Technology also help creating the ability for everyone to write through social networks, review, and blogging. Next, I will explain about how did contemporary literature was made. In the course of 12th century, mankind witnessed numerous changes. The end of World War II, the fall of communism in Europe, and the end of Cold War marked the beginning of new society. In addition, technological innovation emerged, such as cell phones and the internet. Within this wave of change, literature was enriched with new genres. Many of these were a response to technological change and new reality social. A future of contemporary literature after World War II made many stories that were based on reality and had a credible plot. Next. I will explain about how to make contemporary literature. First, you must do research about every issue occur around us. Second, start writing and imagining your character. Writing everyone that comes out from your mind and imagine a new story for your character. Next, choose your setting. You need such a place, time, and situation. Next, you must decide the point of view. Next, you must put your character into the plot and setting. Next, you recheck your writing based on correct linguistic element. Next, you must make a conclusion from your story.
That's all for the explanation from us. So for the next session, we'll move it to Telegram. Everyone who wants to ask may type and send it to our group chat. And thanks for all of you who has been keeping up with us. We hope every explanation that we have told is understandable and can be useful to all of us. Sorry if we made any mistake. Me, Azzahra and Bima say goodbye to you all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.